Greetings, scholars, and welcome to BMG 230, Week 5. We are progressing right along in this fast paced course, and you guys are doing very well. Let's note that today is the last day to withdraw for this semester, so make sure, well, just for this class, 7 half-week classes. So if that's something you're considering, do not hesitate to reach out to me, send me a message, give me a call, message me and remind me. Let's talk through it. Let's make sure that that's the best option. I mean, everybody's situation is different, but sometimes that's not the best option. So let's talk through it first to make sure we're doing what's best for you. All right, as of the start of this week, we are at 525 points. So again, you're looking in Blackboard and you're measuring your points against 525. You're going to divide it against 525 to see where you stand. Always note that if you have gone ahead and completed assignments that were not due as of yet, then do not put those points in your total. Take them out so you have a realistic picture of where you actually stand. So this week we have our last discussion board post, and then we have chapters 9 and 10. So let's take a look at what chapters 9 and 10 are going to be about. Chapter 9 is continuing in human resources, so managing diversity and inclusion. So when we look at that, what exactly does that mean? Is it the same thing as affirmative action? It's not. So quick differences here. Affirmative action should be the start. It should be following the laws to right the wrongs that have been done in the past. Diversity is a more in-depth, more valuable tool. So you want to, diversity management rather, so you want to continue those efforts. So you don't want to just start with affirmative action and say, well, we hired a diverse workforce. We want to make sure that they feel welcome. We want to make sure that they can be successful, that they feel valued. So here's a good slide to look at when you're reading the major differences between affirmative action and also diversity and inclusion. So hint, hint, make sure you pay attention to this slide. Many times when we talk about diversity, unfortunately, many people think that it may be limited to race. And yes, race is a major component of it, but that is not the only diverse aspect that you should be looking at. Gender, age, sexual orientation, lifestyle, religion. There's so many other components of diversity that can be taken into consideration. We do see a lot of companies putting forth good effort with this and trying to maintain a diverse and inclusive workforce, being mindful of these different groups, having like associations or teams within the company that focus, or sort of a sounding ground for those individuals who subscribe to it to come together, identify themselves. So it's all about promoting equality inside of the workplace. Companies that do well and have a diverse and inclusive workforce can use that as a competitive advantage. That's attractive to potential employees. It helps retain employees. They tend to stay there. It also gives them a better perspective on our ever-changing market and industry. So this is a tool that they can use when it comes to recruiting, retaining employees. You'll also read in Chapter 9 about sexual harassment, affirmative action, laws and rules for the workforce. So let's see what Chapter 10 is about. Chapter 10 is leadership. So think about this question. What is lacking when the focus becomes how to survive day to day? So take a moment to think about what you think the answer is to this question. So the answer is a vision. So without a clear vision, it's very hard for you to focus beyond today or tomorrow. You're just working to get what's in front of you done. You're not thinking about the future. So your vision is a mental image of a possible and desired future state of the organization. Key behaviors that leaders possess: challenge the process, inspire a vision, enable others to act, model the way, which is extremely important, and also encourage the heart. This was one of the questions I asked you in your pre-assessment, just trying to understand what your thoughts were. Leading and managing, so supervisory leadership, this is guiding, supporting, helping you do those day-to-day activities. However, strategic leadership, supervisory leadership is sometimes referred to just as management, just a manager there to help me do my job. But in strategic leadership is truly focusing on giving purpose and meaning to the organization, helping them understand why they exist, what they're there for, and not just to do a day-to-day job. There are so many different approaches to leadership, or many different styles of leadership. Um, Depending on what you read, they may favor one versus the other, but it's really good to understand those different styles and understand that the situation may best determine that, which is also one of the styles, situational leadership. So let's take a look at some of these key differences. So with trait approach, this comes from the perspective that leaders are born and not made. So that's a key component of this approach. It's saying that no traits can ensure leadership, but there are certain characteristics that most leaders have. So drive, the leadership motivation, integrity, self-confidence, knowledge of the business. Those are the characteristics that will be visible in those leaders. The behavior approach is looking at what good leaders do. So they're trying to determine what is it about this person, what are they doing that makes people believe in them, want to follow them, and listen to their advice and guidance. Some of those behaviors include open communication, building trust, mutual respect. These are some of those behaviors that good leaders have with the behavioral approach. Here are 3 different ways to participate in decision making with leaders. So with autocratic leaders, this is a leader who makes the decision, doesn't consult you or a team, and then they just inform you what they decided. Democratic leaders, this is the most favored within the decision making model because they solicit feedback from the team. They ask questions, they listen to responses, and they do this before they make a decision. So they involve the team in a decision making process. And then laissez-faire leaders, they leave it up to you. They give you the goal, they give you the objective, and they say, I trust you, so go at it. Whatever you choose or decide, I'm fine with. So all of these different styles have pros and cons. Again, Democratic tends to be the most favored style, but it may not work in every situation. Autocratic leaders are typically said to be stern, but autocratic leaders are great in times of crisis because this is a person who knows what they're doing. They know how to get the results, and so the best thing to do is listen to them. Listen to what they're saying. They're going to give you clear directions. They're going to tell you exactly what to do to achieve the goals that you're looking to achieve. Laissez-faire leaders, it may sound nice to say, hey, here's your objective, just go and do it, but it doesn't work in every situation. In order for a laissez-faire leader to be truly successful, they have to have a highly experienced, highly trained, highly educated team who has proven their worth. So a team that has shown consistently that they know what they're doing, you're going to take that style of leadership with them and say, well, these are our new objectives. Here's what we want to focus on now. You've been very successful in the past. You're highly trained, highly experienced, a lot of education. So I know you know what to do. Therefore, I don't need to tell you what to do. Another approach to leadership is the situational style. Now, this varies, right? It varies by the situation. So look before you lead is a key component of this leadership style. It's saying that you're not going to take the same approach to every situation. You're not going to be an autocratic leader at every bump in the road or every turn. You're going to look to see what is required of your team, understanding your team, and then you're going to decide how you're going to move forward. You're also reading chapter 10 about the path goal. That's another style, room motto of leadership. So some more styles of leadership that you can consider. Have an amazing week.